In the criminal justice system, the people are represented by two separate yet equally important groups: the police who investigate crime and the district attorneys who prosecute the offenders. These are their stories.
Clarence Earl Gideon was an unlikely hero. He was a man with an 8th grade education who ran away from home when he was in middle school. He spent much of his early adult life as a drifter, spending time in and out of prisons for nonviolent crimes. Gideon was charged with breaking and entering with the intent to commit a misdemeanor, which is a felony under Florida law. At trial, Gideon appeared in court without an attorney. In open court, he asked the judge to appoint counsel for him because he could not afford an attorney. The trial judge denied Gideon's request because Florida law only permitted appointment of counsel for poor defendants charged with a capital offense.
In Gideon's original case, the jury found him guilty, and he was sentenced to 5 years in prison, all because he wasn't able to find the contradictions in the testimony of the so-called witnesses. This led him to petition for a writ of habeas corpus from the Florida Supreme Court, arguing that he wasn't given a fair trial. So, on January 15, 1963, the Supreme Court heard the arguments in the Gideon v. Wainwright case. Abe Fortas, who was a Washington, D.C. attorney and future Supreme Court justice, decided to represent Gideon for free before the Supreme Court. He abstained the safer argument that Gideon was a special case because he only had an 8th grade education, but rather, Fortas asserted that no defendant, however competent or even well-educated, could provide an adequate self-defense against the state, and that the U.S. Constitution ensured legal representation to all defendants who were charged with felonies. 2 months later, the court unanimously ruled, 9-0, that the denial of attorney violated Gideon's 14th Amendment, which guarantees the right to an attorney. So, Gideon was given a retrial, and he was acquitted in 1963.
Upon having to defend himself in court and losing, Gideon filed a habeas corpus petition in the Florida Supreme Court, where he argued that the decision of the trial court violated his constitutional right to be represented by a counsel. Gideon also argued that him being denied a lawyer violated his Sixth Amendment right. In a precedent case of Betts v. Brady, the Supreme Court ruled that the Sixth Amendment did not apply to the states. Gideon argued to the Supreme Court that due to the 14th Amendment, which states that no state could deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of the laws, that the Sixth Amendment does apply to the states, and the Florida Supreme Court should be held accountable.